Well, hi, everybody, and welcome to the UCLA season baseball preview. We are delighted to be here. It's our fourth session, actually, since the abrupt end to 2020. It ended well. The Bruins 13-2, number 2 ranked team in the country. And guess what? They're ranked number 2, 3, or 4, depending on the polls, moving forward, picking up where they left off, and we can't wait to get started. And to do that, what better person to start with than John Savage, coach, 17 years now coming up. Seems like just yesterday, doesn't it?
Well, thanks, Tim. We really appreciate everybody joining us tonight. Really appreciate seeing your face and hearing your voice. I know the fans are excited to hear that voice again this coming season, and our families, and it means a lot to us. So thank you. Just wanted to get everybody updated on where we're at. We are a full go. We have 54 games currently on the schedule. Of course, we have 30 Pac-12 games, and then we have 24 non-conference games. So as everybody knows, the last couple seasons have been really, really good. Just a recap of, I know the fans and families know a lot of these things, but 2019 was a special year. We were 53-11. We won the Pac-12. Really a tremendous year. We won the league in that season, and things could not have gone really any better throughout the entire season. We were ranked number 1 for 3 months. Which is, I've never been a part of that. I don't think any Division I coach has really been a part of that. That's something that, you can get in there and then get out and lose a couple games. But this team was so resilient. Really, really a fun team to coach. We didn't lose any Tuesday games. We were 11-0 on Tuesdays. We didn't lose a Pac-12 series. And so the 19 season was remarkable. Hosted a regional. We had 13 players drafted. As everybody knows, that was the most in the country in 19. And then we had 3 players drafted in the first day, which was the most players drafted: Chase Strump, Michael Toglia, and Ryan Garcia, along with 10 other Bruins that were drafted. So we lost a heartbreaking series to Michigan. We had a packed house for all 3 games. Really a tough series to lose. And that season ended with some All-Americans, high picks, over 50 wins, and just a remarkable run. 2020 started. We had 4 captains that are joining us tonight that were captains on that team. We, of course, Zach Petway, Kyle Mora, Matt McLean, and Noah Cardenas. We started off, as everybody knows, we lost 13 players. So we lost a lot of players from the previous year. And I think people were, wondering what we were going to be. And we started off as good as any team in the country. We swept Riverside. We swept St. Mary's. We went to Texas. We beat a really good Oklahoma State team. A packed house. We beat Texas A&M, and then we beat Illinois on Sunday morning, a quick turnaround. And then we came home and we beat a Vanderbilt team that was ranked in the top 10. Kumar Rocker, we beat him on that Friday night. We lost to TCU, which was our first loss of the season, I believe. And then we ended up beating USC, 15-2, 14-2. I forget what it was, but on that Pac-12 TV. And then the season came to abrupt end. We were going to start up with Oregon, and the season got canceled. We were the number 1 team RPI wise in the country last season at 13-2. Like I said, these captains did a tremendous job this season. I think it's my first time in 17 years we have the same captains again in 21, which is pretty cool. Tim's going to ask those guys questions, and those guys are going to answer them and talk a little bit about the team and about their experience at UCLA, so everybody can hear the guys. So Tim, why don't you start, and then I'll talk about some fundraising stuff maybe at the end. But I'd love to have you ask the guys questions and have our families and our fans, hear these guys.
Well, let's start with Zach. Gosh, cover boy on the media guide last year, among others. Zach, you're the Friday starter, and what a privilege it is that UCLA has an incredible track record, especially in the last decade, of Friday guys. How do you balance the privilege of being the Friday starter at UCLA with also having the confidence to get the job done?
I think I've learned a lot from the older guys. I think my freshman year, we had Jake Bird, who was a super good example of what it's like to be a Friday guy and how to handle that role. Then my sophomore, we had Ryan Garcia, and he kind of took that role in stride. You saw well he pitched all 2019. So I think it's kind of learning from those guys, kind of just knowing that you have a full team behind you and just relying on all those other guys to help you out as well. It's not just a one-man job.
And Coach, with that said about a Friday guy, it's a big deal, isn't it, to have a Friday pitcher, the same guy, go out all the time? It's very, very critical to the series, obviously.
No question. I mean, we value each game really equally the same, as everybody on the call knows. I mean, we take Tuesday games really as serious as any games, but we want 4 number ones. We've always talked about that. We want a number one on Friday, number one on Saturday, on Sunday and Tuesday, and we've had some of those years where we've had the same starters, in their roles their entire year. Zach was off to as good a start as anybody in the country last season. His 4 wins, he had domination. He beat 4 good teams. And really the last one was against Vanderbilt, and he was going to start against Oregon on that Friday. And, we've had a great history of Friday night guys. I mean, from Hector Ambrose to Tyson Brummett, rest in peace, Tyson. We had David Huff. Of course, we have the 2 guys that are in the spotlight, in the major leagues today with Garrett Cole. Trevor Bauer was a Saturday guy. So Adam Plutko, and then like Zach said, it moved on to a lot of other guys down the road. James Caprillion, Griffin Canning, and then the last couple of years with Jake Bird and Ryan Garcia. And you're right. We've had a great history of starting pitching, really. And Zach is one of those guys that, is a part of that group.
And to go along with that, John, you mentioned Tuesday being a critical game. Undefeated Tuesdays is a very, very big deal, because that is what really builds on the national esteem of the program. It's hard to win in the West on Tuesdays. The Bruins, I can remember, have done it several times. I think Garrett Claypool, going back that far. Grant Watson was a Tuesday starter, ends up being the winningest left-hander in the history of the program. So Tuesdays were a big night, and have always been a big night for the Bruins. Now, as you move forward, one of the guys who's been key to the staff on Tuesdays and every other night is Kyle Mora, because Kyle, I've got to say, what gives you the ability to pitch every single day? You've got David Berg on the screen up here. He's the only other guy I've seen that can really do that.
A lot of it goes just into the preparation that coach has kind of given us from the first day we walk on campus, with throwing programs and weight room stuff and mobility stuff. But it's definitely helped over the last couple of years having Bergie down there with us, kind of managing things as far as what we're doing on a daily basis. But it's just trusting kind of what our process is with getting the ball, and we want the ball every day in the bullpen, and we like to let the starters know that. But it's good to get the ball, and nobody's going to shy away from that every day. So it's fun to do.
Well, you've pitched all over the place too. The 5th, the 7th, the 8th, extra innings. Does one make a difference to you over the other?
You try to keep it the same. Obviously, as it gets a little later, the tensions of it rise a little higher, and it gets a little bit more fun. But we try to keep everything the same, and it kind of feels the same once you get your body moving around and once you get out there.
Well, one of the guys that moves around a lot and does a great job of it and plays multiple positions, and that is Matt. And Matt, we need to bring you in because, my goodness, I'm just hearing so many good things about you from the off season, and I know that you can't wait to get back on the field. Tell us what you've been doing and how it's framing up for you. I'm hearing you're driving the ball all over the field.
Yeah, I'm really just looking forward to getting after it this season. Our season got cut short, 15 games in. We had a good season in 2019, fell short, but ultimately, we're hungry as a team and myself as well, because, we really haven't gone to where we've wanted to go. And we're really looking forward to, this Friday and this season in general. But no, me as a player in general, just hitting the ball hard, that's what I do. So I just been trying to do that more.
Is going the other way. I heard of Henry Aaron has been in the news lately, obviously, and he was talking about when he used to go the other way. He learned that in batting practice. At that time, they didn't have cages to protect the batting practice pitchers, and they had to either go pull the ball or hit the ball the other way. And I was thinking of you because you drive the ball hard. Is that by design or is that just as a result of good technique?
Thank you. I appreciate it. I don't know. I guess it just happens sometimes. I don't really try and do it all the time. I just try and hit it hard up the middle.
Yeah, that's the old line, hit the ball hard up the middle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, Noah, as a catcher, you're one of those up the middle guys. They say teams that are strong up the middle, catching and pitching, shortstop, second, and center field, that's strong up the middle. And as a catcher, I'll tell you, it's just a grueling position. I don't think people really understand how hard it is physically to be behind the plate up and down. And a lot of folks have that work against them in terms of their offense, but it hasn't seemed to be the case with you.
Well, first off, I think catching is really fun. Like for myself personally, I can't hear you bash the position. I think there's just a lot of fun touching the ball, a lot of plays, just being part of the game a lot. But offensively, I take pride in being good on both sides of the ball for my team. And I'm just super thankful that I've been able to do that in these past 2 years. But looking forward to this year for sure.
Well, people, they saw you as a freshman and said, who is this guy? And now everybody knows.
Yeah, I guess that's the case. But I was just a freshman who was trying to contribute to a really winning team and an older team. And obviously we didn't get to where we wanted to go. And like Matt said earlier, we really haven't done anything as far as all four of us captains. We really haven't gone to Omaha, not only get there, but win, just have an impact on this program. That's what we're really priding ourselves on. And that's what we're looking forward to this year for sure.
Well, I'd just like to point out it's 24 below in Omaha right now. So we've got time. We can take our time, get there eventually, but not right now. David Berg, off season for you. It's never an off season for director of baseball operations. This has to be the most challenging season any guy could have in that capacity. It's been day to day. I hear coach say 54 games. As far as I knew yesterday, it was 53. There's always something happening at the yard.
Yeah, no, it's kind of been an all hands on deck approach. Certainly having different challenges this year than any other year. And like you said, there's a lot of different things that go on behind the scenes off the field to be able to get these guys out here. But everybody knows that there's more protocols and things that we have to follow this year. So the guys have been great and really stepping up and helping take some of the stuff off my plate to lighten the load. So, really excited to get this season going. Disappointed we're not going to be able to have the fans out there because I know we have a great fan base and a really tight core unit of people who are there all the time. So disappointed they're not going to be able to be there, but just excited to get the season going and get some sort of normalcy.
Coach, I'm going to bring it back to you now. You have some other things that you wanted to lay out on the table. I know that you're terribly proud of these players for how they handled this whole unusual circumstance. And you've had so many good teams in the past. It's maybe a little bit odd, though, to have so many leaders in the clubhouse. You always have leaders, but you're loaded with leadership young men on and off the field.
Yeah, it's just really a credit to, their families, to how they were raised, to the coaches they played for. I mean, coming into the program, you never really know, what you have, you get it. And we just have a bunch of, great people and team players. And that goes for our families as well. I mean, it's been a difficult, 12 months really of just, trying to get through all the protocols, freshmen living alone in the dorm, in their own room with no other, roommate, following the protocols at the ballpark. And like Bergie said, it just breaks our heart that we're not going to be able to have fans. And because it's such a family program, we've had Sunday barbecue, picnics, or whatever you want to call them, after Sundays for a long time. And they're just a lot of fun. And for our families and our players, it's nothing better than winning a series at Jackie Robinson and then going up the stairs and signing a few autographs and getting to see the families. And, we've had a lot of success at Jackie Robinson. We haven't lost a series in Jackie Robinson for 2 seasons.
Long time.
That's not easy. Not a lot of programs can say that. And we take a lot of pride in our ballpark. I love the cutouts. We want to thank all the people that have contributed to the cutouts. I think we almost have 250 of them that are going to be set up on Wednesday, that people will hopefully be able to see on stream or on TV, which is kind of a neat, addition to the ballpark without fans. So wanted to thank all the people that have, stepped up in that regard. But our schedule is going to be very difficult. It's a West Coast schedule. And as anybody knows, West Coast players, coaches, teams are tough to beat. People sometimes from the rest of the country they don't recognize that, but from the Big West and the West Coast Conference, and of course the difficult 30 games we always play in the Pac-12. So we have a schedule that we are going to play, I think, 29 home games out of the 54. Right now, 3 of them are on TV on the Pac-12. The University of Washington series will be on TV. It looks like our 3 games over at USC are going to be on TV. And this kind of gets where this next line is streaming. We really need people's help in terms of streaming. I think everybody understands the restrictions and the financial stuff, and really the unexpected need of I want people to see these players. We want their families to see them. We want our fans to see them. We want the national media to see them. We want opponents to see them. We want the entire country to see these guys. They were a tremendous team last season, and we lost 2 terrific players in Holden Powell and of course Garrett Mitchell. But we got everybody back. Other than the seniors that moved on, Felix Ruby, Will McInerney, we have 3 fifth-year guys back. Kyle Cuellar, Jaron Silva, Kyle Mora, guys that are great team players. And then we have all these seniors back. So we're really excited about this team. But the streaming part, is something where it's, let me get my facts straight here. It's about $1,500 a game. And there's about 26 games. So if you do the math, that's about a $39,000, ticket, I guess you would say, that is going to allow us to stream games. And of course, that streaming is going to be, very high standard. Potentially, I think, don't quote me on this, 3 or 4 cameras. Of course, they'll have Tim Wilhelm on the, on the audio part. And so we need people's help. We have Nathan Anderson, who's a part of our development team, our fundraising team, that I believe will be sending something out, or maybe Nathan, you can say something in that regard. But the second thing, so streaming is our number one priority in terms of needs for our families, for our players. So their mothers and fathers and aunts and uncles and grandmas and grandpas and brothers and sisters and cousins, and everybody can watch them along with our fans. Like Bergie said, we have unbelievable fans that are loyal to our program. We thank each and every one of you for being such diehard fans, and you'd be very proud of these guys. These guys have worked their tail off to put themselves in position even to be on the field. They came back early right after Christmas, a couple days to quarantine. They've tested, knock on wood, for the most part, in great shape, week in, week out. And it's a continuous battle, as everybody knows. Everybody's watched football. Everybody's watched basketball. There's games still being canceled. We're keeping our fingers crossed in baseball. I've already heard a couple games being canceled this weekend in opening baseball. So, we need to get this product and brand out to the national, perspective. And like I said, most importantly to our family and friends. So the second piece is weekly meals. We started that, I think probably about 4 years ago. It's been a great addition. Jackie Robinson, as everybody knows, is off campus. It's on the Veterans Grounds. And, guys get hungry out here. And they, pre-practice meal, post-lifting meal, post-game, pre-game, whatever. And that's also, a pretty hefty, I think that's a 3-meal, 36 players. That's about $1,200 a week. And that comes out to about $18,000 for the rest of the year till July 1st. So really, we have other needs as well. And I'm not, asking for all of it, but like I said, it's for the betterment of the student athlete and for our players. Obviously, the two major ones is the streaming and the meals. And then, of course, we have some fundraising opportunities for, a lot of the data that we use and the analytics that we use, the TrackMan and video, and a lot of that stuff obviously helps our players develop. And that's also a piece of the pie, I guess you would say. But, we have a tremendous schedule. We have San Francisco for 3 at home. We have Loyola on that Tuesday. We have Irvine for 3. Then we have the Dodger Classic. Again, it's not going to be a Dodger Stadium, but we'll have Fullerton and Pepperdine. And then, of course, we go to Cal Poly for a 3-game series before we open up league against Arizona. So, whatever anybody can do, you guys do enough already. Like I say, every get together we have for our families, it is a family program, and they've stepped up in every way. So just can't thank them enough, and so forth. I know everybody heard the news about the Branca Family Field. That's exciting. That's a big part of our player development piece, that we're going to have another half infield to practice. It's going to be field turf. John Branca, Rodine Gifford. We had some great Bruins step up. Troy Gloss, Brandon Crawford, Chase Utley, Eric Karros, and of course, Garrett Cole have stepped up with major money for that. That's almost a $4 million facility that will start. We're hopefully in May, more likely June, and hopefully it will be done by next fall. But that money's done. We're not asking for that. That's already been done. And I want to thank if anybody's on the call from the alumni, I want to thank you guys as well for that. And for, of course, Rodine and John. And a lot of people contribute to that. Martin Lezak, Dan McInerney, a lot of people have really contributed to that. So, Ken and Ali Graywer stepped up. So just a lot of really great Bruins and a lot of people that have really care about baseball and UCLA baseball. Just want to thank them. And I know I'm going on a little bit here, but I just want to get all those, thoughts out to everybody and thank them. And I know the players appreciate it as much as I do.
John, there's one other thing we want to say as we bring this back to conclusion here, and that is that we want to remind everybody, if you haven't noticed looking at the schedule, that we are playing night games at 5 o'clock. And that's for the first more or less month of the season until the time change. Do you want to weigh in on that a little bit?
Well, yeah, I think it's just, we're all online in class. So people can take classes, sitting in a lot and being in a lot of different areas. So we just thought with no fans that, a lot of times we play at 6. So people that work, that work till 5, that can get to the ballpark, we want to be very conscious of that. But now with the situation we're in, we figured that we'd play at 5. We're going to play at 2. And then we're going to play at 1 on Sundays. So up until daylight savings time, all those Tuesday night games and Friday night games will be at 5, unless TV changes them. I know the Washington series is a little funny right now. I think that Friday's at 2 against Washington. That will be coming out. But just, a little earlier. Obviously, everybody knows the ballpark can get a little, hippie, I guess you would say, in February and March. And, so that'll be a little nice. And we'll get get to bed a little earlier on Friday for that Saturday game.
Yep.
Not a big deal, but we want to play. We want to play anytime, anywhere. I mean, that's kind of our motto, and I know the players, are believing that as well as anybody.
So with that said, we will be with you on UCLABruins.com on Friday night, 5 o'clock against USF. It will be on air time about 4:50. So 4:50 Pacific on Friday. The Bruins host the Dons of San Francisco for the first of a 3-game series. And we certainly hope you'll be tuning in throughout the weekend for those games. Well, Coach, thanks for Zach and Matt, and Noah, Kyle, Nathan, Daniel. Thank you for your work in bringing this together. David Berg. That's all for now.
I just want to say one last thing, Tim.
Yes.
You talk about Power 5 baseball, and everybody, you look at the Big 12, the Big 10, the ACC, the SEC, and of course the Pac-12. And everybody knows the Pac-12 has won the most national championships of any conference in the country. And with Oregon State and Arizona and ourselves have won it in the last 10, 11 years. We feel that our roster is as deep as anybody's. And these guys have worked 4 and 5 years to play their last season as a Bruin. And, I just think that, with the way the world is today, I just hope that, we are able to get up and going with the streaming. You never know. Hopefully fans at some point, we're hopeful of that. But I just, the true loyal UCLA baseball fans and families, they mean so much to this program. And it's not always like that in a lot of Power 5s, because there's big stadiums and a lot of, big crowds. And, last year against Vanderbilt, I mean, they're an elite program, and, we beat them in front of a packed house, and just a lot of people that care about the program and about the players. And we think we have the best fans out there, loyal fans, true fans that will follow us on the road. We do play at USC this year, so that's kind of cool. So we do have, I guess you would say, 18 games, I guess, in LA this year out of 30 in the Pac-12. But I don't know, there will be fans at certain venues throughout the non-conference. I don't quite know yet. I think it's literally week to week, but we love your support, and go Bruins. And we're really looking forward to the start of the season. I know the captains and the entire team cannot thank you enough.
Real quick, Tim, before we sign off, I wanted to introduce Nathan Anderson so he can give out his info and the info of how to donate if somebody's able to help out. And then we'll also send it out to our email subscribers as well, and probably post it online. So Nathan.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Just want, as Coach mentioned, just want to say thank you for your support of the program. I've included my information in the chat link. There's my cell phone and email. If you guys ever need anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. I've also included the online giving link, as well as information on if you want to send in a check. Just remember, if you do send in a check, please make it payable to the UCLA Foundation, and in the memo line, write UCLA Baseball. So, and if there's anybody that wasn't able to make this call that you know is interested in giving to the program, feel free to share all my information. And just on behalf of UCLA Baseball, thank you all for your continued support of the program.
Nathan, thanks. Coaches, players, thank you so much again for your time. You can certainly email as well. Phone calls are a little difficult to take for the coaches, but if you'd like to send an email, you can certainly do that. You could use our broadcast email, uclabaseball@gmail.com. If you have any questions, we can certainly forward them to the appropriate person in order to get your question answered. Again, thanks for everything and appreciate you being with us, folks. We'll talk to you on Friday night.